All right, check, check. Hopefully the sound is right this time. Last video wasn't so hot. I forgot a couple things, but here we are, back in action. And I had a couple thoughts about the way I lifted this truck with the crane. The other video you saw, I just put the strap through here, right? Because I was just trying to test it. And I put this gusset stuff in, this webbing, and I don't have enough to do the other side, so I have to buy that. But I got a couple really cool ideas to further the process. One functional and one purely ridiculous. So join me on the next edition of the crane. We're working through this. This might be the last one for a little while. On the crane, Little Jewel continues. Okay, I mentioned this area here to hook stuff to. Now I do have that trolley, but once I put this webbing in, I realized that trolley's not gonna do anything. And do I really need that? Probably not. I think the look and the strength are more what I need for this. So I could save that thing. If I ever do have a gantry or something, I'll use it. How do we hook stuff to this, right? I got this little UTV or ATV at home, a little yard goat 4x4, and this is the trailer hitch for it. It goes in there, and I had bought this ring and this thing here, so I think that would be a perfect accessory. I don't know how much this is gonna lift per se, but in that 800-pound range, I would say it'll work. Let's see, bought this a while ago. Do not exceed 10,000-pound capacity. All right, I think we're in the ballpark. Long story short, trailer hitch receiver in the end of this thing will look great. We don't need it the full receiver length, so let's chop it off right about through the barcode, shall we? Don't quit yet. Don't leave the channel yet. We got something really cool. I told you, this is the functional part. You gotta wait for the ridiculous. Something old, something new, something borrowed, something black. Just keeping the course. Then I got this nice piece left over. This is only 20 bucks, heck yeah. So I can make 2 trailer hitches out of 1. All right, so I took the ram out of this just to get it as low as possible. It does bind up on itself, lower than the ram drops, but I got this engine hoist hooked up to it just in case. So what I want to do is not put it off to the side, I want to put it direct center. Through the vertical part of this H. So let's just mark that to there. Oops. And then mark that to there. I'm gonna cut this out and set that in. Make sense? Let's do it. Now this is where a torch would really come in handy, because to stab the grinder all the way in there is gonna be a little bit of a pain. Definitely gonna make that happen. So let's get this started here. That could have been messy. That's where you hear the story about the death wheel. If it wasn't for my cat-like reflexes, my amazing forearm strength, that could have gone real wrong. Just a little chip. You have to be a little more careful, especially when this thing is at face height. All right, so how will we get that started? I think we'll put a small disc on this and pierce through it like that way. That's why it's a good idea to save your smaller discs. See, I'll be able to stick it in through here. I think the Sawzall will just take the rest of that right out. Totally works. I like that. All right, let me clean this up. Clean this up. We'll give it the weld. I did try to test fit this in the store, and there's like a little burr inside, so I'm gonna have to hit that with the sander. But yeah, setting that in. That looks good. Cool. Yeah, let's weld it. Okay, we were welding sheet metal at 15 volts, so I'm gonna bring it back up to 20. Let's consult this chart again. Yeah, about 21, 440 should do it. Let's do 21 volts and I'll speed up a little bit more. We're gonna be welding upside down a little bit. But let's see how this works. Gas on. Hitch in place. Yeah, just like that. Looks good. All right. I'm gonna pin this top first. Super hot. Yeah, I think that's too hot for this. That is cooking. Well, I mean, it's not gonna fall off. That is a hot bead. Can't argue with that. It's gonna stick. Get the little sander in there. Yeah, it must be where they put the hole through. Got a burr on it, but all good now. It just looked a little bit stuck on, a little weak, so take this round stock, finish this right off. All right, while that air compressor was charging up, I just took advantage of the moment. Trying not to run too many high amperage things at the same time. Now I'm gonna drop this back down. Like 18 and 300, I think will be cool. All right, that gives a definite end to it. So now, for the really weird part. And it's not at this end, it's over there. Perfect. I like it. Get a little close up before we're done. So I want to talk about old stuff. Old projects, you know, reusing old materials. Just checking the angle of our dangle. That looks good. So there's been some discussion about, oh yeah, it's got like that Mad Max style, you know, post-apocalyptic, use whatever you can to make it happen sort of thing. And, you know, going with the rat rod term, etc., like I can agree with that. Like I feel it. So I had actually made this vehicle years ago for the Wasteland Weekend. You know, you hear a Burning Man, but Wasteland Weekend is a little bit like that in that it's camping in the desert. This one has a theme of the Mad Max, the post-apocalyptic thing. So I made this weird car, got all thrashed, cut apart, dismissed, but I kept a couple pieces of it. And it got me thinking. You know the character Immortan Joe, right? The old dude at the last few movies. He's like doing anything to just hold on to his ego, right? To his power, his passion, running the show. Like if a Morton Joe had this crane, and you know, he's pretty feeble, right? He's got to be propped up, a lot of servants and stuff, but wouldn't he want to feel like he was the most powerful crane operator in the wasteland? He's not going to feel that by like pressing an electric button and, you know, pumping a handle. He's going to want servants to help him. He's going to want to be in a place of power and control, right? Now, I'm not saying it's like a very masculine thing, but wouldn't you want to be like right here, directing the position of the crane and lifting it and feeling all powerful? I think I would want to feel that way also. So I got this seat. So like a seat and handlebars. I mean, even if it didn't do anything to control the crane, it would look pretty rad. Be the opportunity for a little counterweight. Get a lot of people questioning, but no ordinary seat would do. So I had built this. This was the seat that you drove the vehicle from. You sat way out. This was a pivot, sort of like the crane. You sat way out in the vehicle with a pair of handlebars. So you could see there's a heim joint, and then there was another piece that held it. So it kind of articulated and spun and steered the vehicle. Too good to throw away, no? Did everybody just get nervous? I think so. How high? Does this come in right to there? I think it does. It's all the same size round rod too. I think this gets cut off. This heim joint disappears. This gets welded directly to that with another brace to there. Dangerous? Yes, sir. Does it make sense? No, sir. Does it look interesting? Yeah, God dang right it does. And just enough nonsense. Let's cut off some of this thread. Let's cut off this pipe. See what happens. Is his name Morton Joe? Am I getting that right? I hope I am. No. Will you please just bear with me on this? If it doesn't look right in the end, we're gonna cut it off. But I gotta know. I just put so much work into that seat, I couldn't bear to throw it out. If it lives again, we win. Fame, glory of the afterlife. It's another moment where 10 extra hands would really help. That's definitely too low. But what I'm trying to do is I want to get behind it and see if it's vertical or not. I'm gonna put a little shim in here. You know, this is literally doing it yourself. This felt the weld crack. Try this again. You hit it from this side. It's pretty close though. Let me get a little action on here before we totally fail. While we're hot, it's got a twist like that. Ooh. Now we gotta lift this way up. I don't know what maniac would want to sit on this thing. You know, it's the little things. That way like that. And just a little twist like that. Does it look dangerous enough? It looks pretty dangerous to me. I think we want it up a little bit more. Wonder if I should strap it. No, that looks right. I think it gives it that perfect balance. I found this piece of steel. We're gonna put that in there. And we're gonna brace it up some more. So I hear the crowd booing. Are they throwing rotten vegetables? What do we think? Probably just a little one here, huh? Here would be the strongest, but then you got a lot of step over. I think a small rod, or this, I got a tube. That's kind of interesting. Of course, that just wants to collapse that. That's the best route right there. Let's do it. I don't know, it looks a little bit abstract, but I'm gonna do it. I can hear the comments already. He's lost it. He's washed up. His career is over. He resorted to gimmicks. Man, he was having a good time with it, wasn't he? Oh yeah. Now if that's not a feeling of confidence, I don't know what is. It needs some handlebars and some foot pegs. Oof. And a little less heat. Really not trying to break this off and have that kind of an adventure. Hey, if you're not having fun, what are you even doing? Nice little close-up detail of our hook end. See what I did there? So see, it's not out of proportion with the back of the truck. It gives it like a weird kind of scorpion tail almost. See what I'm saying? Sculpture. Don't look at me like that. I'm gonna think about this. I'm gonna think about handlebar, foot peg ideas. Got an awesome setup on the front, right out to the back seat. That's my story. I'm sticking to it. What are we gonna do next time? Who knows?